Two parallel white lines mark a crosswalk for pedestrians. Most of the time you find them at intersections where pedestrians can use them when they have a green light or walk signal. Remember though, that pedestrians can be unpredictable and may not cross with the green light or may not allow themselves enough time to cross before that light turns red. Be aware of this and always yield to pedestrians when they're crossing. Also, you may find crosswalks at other places in the road than intersections. When you approach one of these crosswalks, slow down and keep a lookout for pedestrians. If anyone is in the crosswalk, you must come to a complete stop and allow them to cross before moving again. And again, remember that pedestrians may not always follow the pavement markings, so always be cautious and prepare to yield to anyone who steps into the roadway. The answer to validation question number 8 is A as in apple. Mark that one down. White lines can also mark special bike lanes on the right side of the road. These lanes are for bicycles only, and don't try to pass yourself off as a bicyclist. If you need to make a right turn or enter a driveway, you may use the bike lane, but only after you've checked carefully and made sure there are no bicyclists nearby. Now, let's talk about the second most common violation that I see in my classes next to speeding, and that would be, of course, a stop sign. So let me just draw this up on the board real quick. Look, everybody, this sign right here is stop. Stop. Believe it or not, you're supposed to actually stop at the stop sign. Supposed to come, because I see a lot of people who think this sign means slow to observe police, right? That ain't it. We would actually like you to stop and count at least to 2, sometimes even 3 if it's a busy area, but at least to 2. So you come to a stop and you go 1001, 1002, look both ways, and then go. Okay, I'm sorry, if you're from the South, it's Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, then look both ways and go. Is anybody here from the South? One day I asked that question. This woman goes, South America? So you come to the stop, you count, look both ways, and go. Why is that? Let me tell you a little secret. When you go to like a roller coaster or you're at a fair, let's say you get to the end of the ride of the roller coaster. When you get to the end of that ride, you feel like you have stopped. So you come to a stop, you say, oh, okay, I'm going to take my seatbelt off and get up, and you look. And the whole crowd is moving just a little bit. Because the change in momentum in your car, because it's heavy. So if you're in the roller coaster car, you come to a stop, look, your car's still moving just a little bit. See? That's what the police officer sees. So if you swear that you have stopped at a stop sign because of the change in momentum, because your car is heavy, it feels like you've stopped. You could swear you're stopped, but you're not stopped. You're still moving just a little bit, and that's what the officer sees. So that's why we get back to stop, count, 1001, 1002, look both ways, and then go, then you have no problem. Okay? Good. Any questions on stop signs?
Who has the right-of-way at a four-way stop sign?
Okay, the question is, who has the right-of-way at a four-way stop sign? Now, I prefer to say, who should we give the right-of-way to, or who should we allow to go first would be the best way to say this. So, who should be allowed to go first at a four-way stop sign? Because we'll talk about in a second why the concept of yielding the right-of-way. Now, watch the board, everybody. Here's a four-way stop. Our light is broken, it automatically becomes a four-way stop. Sometimes, you know, like in the middle of the night or if there's bad weather, the lights are just flashing like that at a signal light. But let's say it's a plain old four-way stop. And here we go. Here's the street, here's the street, here's the street. Car number 1 gets there first. Car number 2 gets there second. Who goes first here?
1.
How many of you say it's number 2? Who says it's number 1? It was a trick question. Car number 1 got there first. You see I put that in there? So car number 1 is allowed to go first. Now, car number 2 should yield the right-of-way to car number 1. Okay? Because, you see, let me get this straight right off the bat. We never want to insist on the right-of-way. We never want to say, hey, I got here first, so I'm gone no matter what. That's how you have crashes. Now, you should know the proper order, though, so it's sort of like almost like a dance. You go out to the dance, you say, oh, would you like to dance? Not, I'm going to dance with you, get up, like that, you know, because you never get anywhere that way. So we like to do it this way. Car number 1 should be allowed to go first, so car number 2 should yield the right of way. Now, let's say the two cars get there at the same time. Who goes first? Two. The car on the right would go first. Okay? Let me say it properly. Car number one should allow car number two to go first. Don't want to insist on anything, but, you know, we'll talk about communications a little bit later. Number one should say, go ahead, you go first. Okay? Now,